Hi, I want to talk about the Glycine Combat Sub in this video. There are many different variations. They're perfectly well executed, and all of the Combat Subs that I've seen are high quality and great designs, but there are so many different ones to choose from. Most of them come in 42mm case, but the one I'll show you today is in a much larger 46mm case. This is the one here. It's the Glycine GL0257. Now, yeah, that's a pretty big case, but I think it gets away with it. It's really almost feels like better quality than the other Combat Subs, which are superb quality anyway, but this has a few extra touches. Obviously, being a much bigger size, that's the first thing you notice, but unlike most of the Combat Subs, the indices here, as you can see, are applied and they are filled with really bright superluminova, and the actual details is really well done on those. Nice red second hand. And the other major difference between these and the other Combat Subs is the brushed finishing. See, the edges are not polished like most of the original Combat Sub. This is brushed, so it feels, I don't know, a bit more 2D, and I think being a bigger size, that's why you get the 120 click bezel as well. Really tight, really well done, no plate at all. So let's bring in a very popular standard 42mm size. You can see the difference here. I mean, 42mm is quite big for most people as it is. So this 46 is probably, most people will find that too big. But being a slim case, it does get away with it. Comes on this lovely NATO strap, which is really superb quality, very thick. Signed on the buckle there. And I'll show you what the case back looks like, because that's another major difference between the other ones. Look at this case back. That is really nicely done. Very deep engraving of a ray there. Diving with excellence, Glycine Combat Sub. Much bigger improvement to the original case backs on the Glycine Combat Sub. These ones, which is, you know, nice enough, but it's a very shallow etching and not particularly interesting to look at. This one is really incredibly impressive bit of art. Nice to feel, very tactile, and yeah, probably doesn't bother most people, but I do like a good, interesting looking case back. So that's that. We've got the old Crown logo on these as well, which the new Glycines have reverted back to that, which I think is a much better idea. That new logo with the wings wasn't very popular and looked a bit tacky, and they've actually managed to get it on the Crown as well. So I have seen some Combat Subs with the old logo on the dial and then the new logo on the Crown, which is stupid. Anyway, we've also got the bezel, which is a lovely blue colour there to match the dial, and then just to add a bit more interest, you've got the red indicator at the top there, 12 o'clock position, and that Lume pip on the indicator too. So all in all, really well finished and much more detail than some other Combat Subs. So the hands are a new design as well. If you look at the original Combat Subs, they all seem to have that sword second hand, and then you've got the the lollipop hour hand, whereas these are both straight sword type hands, which looks good. Here's some close-up views of the watch just to get a better idea of those lovely applied markers. I do like that red second hand. I think that's a perfect match for the whole watch. Brushed all over. I don't think there's any polished parts of the case at all, which is fine. Now let's see how it looks on the wrist. So that's it on the wrist. Okay, yeah, it's pretty big, but you get away with it, I think, because of the thin case. But you wouldn't want it any bigger than that. Okay, I'm going to show you a Lume Shot now, because that is impressive. Right, there's the Lume. You can see the second hand is loomed well as too, and it's super bright and does not fade. That stays bright for a long time. One other improvement with this watch is you will see that this is a 300-meter dive watch, whereas the original Combat Sub is 200-meter. So they're the specs. Have a read through that if you want. One thing that's odd, this is from the Glycine official website. They say the case diameter there is 48mm, but it's not, it's 46. Everywhere else you look it says 46, and I've measured it and it's 46. The Lume is C3 Luminova. And it's actually called Combat Sub 46, so why they say 48 there, I don't know. So there you have it. The Combat Sub 46mm. And let's bring in the normal 42 next to it so you can get another look at the side, them side by side. Makes the 42mm look small, which it isn't. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Nice trick of the light there with the old Combat Sub